Thursday, November 21st edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Meteorologist Matthew East here with you. A lot to talk about today. Let's get right into it. First of all, I had a cool day yesterday. A lot of 50s for highs across the foothills and the Piedmont. Some 40s in the mountains, a few coastal spots in the low 60s. These are 5:30 a.m. temperatures today, and most of us a little bit milder than where we were at this point yesterday due to a pretty extensive cloud cover that has built on in across the region. There's that blanket of clouds as seen on Storm Tracker radar. Now you look off to the west of us. This is some rain with our next cold front. Parts of Ohio, Indiana, down into Illinois, toward the Ozarks and the southern plains. And that next cold front due into the Carolinas on Saturday. So here's how this looks for us. Today, high pressure still wedging down the eastern seaboard. So it's going to be another pretty cool day across the Carolinas. A lot of cloud cover. I think more clouds by a large margin than what we saw yesterday. And I can't rule out a little bit of light rain or a few sprinkles, especially in the western parts of the Piedmont. Now, as we get into the day tomorrow, southwesterly flow temporarily with us ahead of that incoming front. So it's going to be a milder day with highs pushing into the 60s. But that front breezes through Saturday. There'll be a few areas of rain or showers with it. The rain, not the big deal, though. The big story will be the cold air, what will be the coldest air so far this season arriving by Sunday. In fact, there goes that cold air dropping our way through the plain states as we go through today. Tomorrow we squeeze in a milder day, but Saturday probably a day where many Piedmont and foothill locations have the high temperatures occurring in the morning with falling temperatures as we get deeper into the afternoon and certainly the evening hours. By Sunday, that is what we could be looking at for some highs, and I think that 45 in Charlotte may be way too warm. The bottom line is it's going to be a big shot of cold air. Now, I'm going to show you a lot of the nitty-gritty modeling on this in just a second, but let me just kind of give you an overview of what the European model is showing for next week. This is Tuesday morning, and as we get into Wednesday, actually Tuesday evening, the European brings that low pressure up into the Carolinas and continues to move it northeast from there. This is Wednesday around lunchtime, the big travel day, day before Thanksgiving, that system exiting, and then we're in good shape all across the eastern U.S. by Thanksgiving itself. Now, the GFS model is slower with this. I'll show you that in just a second. Here's the European rainfall totals. Big rain event. This does look like a big soaking rain event in many locations across the region, Tuesday into Wednesday. But a big question mark is the timing of that. So here's the setup. This is the European model solution. The trough is already split by the time you get out to 42 hours, so that piece of energy left behind. By 84 hours, you have our big trough sliding in this weekend, delivering that shot of very cold air. And then finally, that piece of energy ejects from the southwest. This is Tuesday on the European model. And finally, Wednesday morning on the European model. And so what you wind up with at the surface is something like this. This is 66 hours. So this is Saturday, your Arctic cold front moving through. Very chilly Arctic high building in for Sunday and Monday. But then here we go next week. This is 12Z Tuesday morning. Low pressure in southwestern Alabama, southeastern Mississippi rather. And then you go 6 hours later. The rain overspreads all of the Carolinas on Tuesday. That's a very chilly, soaking rain Tuesday on the European model. This is Tuesday evening, low pressure over Georgia. The rain continues. This is Wednesday. You begin to see that low transfer up the coast. Tuesday night into Wednesday morning on the European model. Still raining in the Carolinas Wednesday morning. And then you see that rain finally pulling out. Could end as some snow on the European scenario in the mountains up and maybe parts of the mid-Atlantic, but that would be debatable. Now that's the European solution. Let me show you the GFS. And it is about 12 hours slower. I'll tell you what, you look at that solution and then look at what happens by 174 hours. If you just looked at that chart, you'd say, hey, that's a good setup for wintry weather across the Carolinas. And actually the surface low track, this is the 0Z GFS, and it is 12 hours slower. So this is Tuesday evening. You're just beginning to see the rain move to the Carolinas. This is Wednesday morning. And you look at, if you were to just look at the surface features, low pressure transferring to the coast right there, as an indication of some cold air damming, you'd think, again, that's a winter weather setup. But there is not enough cold air around on the modeling. It winds up being a cold rain, a very chilly rain, but just rain for the Carolinas until, again, you get to the tail end of the system up in the mountains, at least as the modeling is indicating right now. And then finally, one more GFS chart. There's 168. I have to actually two more charts. That's 168, so that's Wednesday evening. So you end up with a very rainy Tuesday night and Wednesday on the GFS, where it's more like Tuesday into Wednesday morning on the European, about a 12-hour difference there. And still, even Thanksgiving morning, the system just pulling out on the GFS. So definitely some timing differences when you look at what happens here. The GFS closes that little southern branch, or keeps it closed longer, I guess I should say, right on through the Carolinas. And so a little bit of a slower track with the overall features on the GFS model. And just one final chart to show you. This is the Canadian. It is more in line with the European timing, indicating a very wet Tuesday and Tuesday night, but beginning to push that system out thereafter. So a lot of interesting stuff to watch. Looks like it could be messy in those couple of days leading up to Thanksgiving with a big rain-producing system across the southeast. And really just what the doctor ordered, though. We could use a good soaking rain, and it looks like it will be just that. All right, that is it for today. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and God bless.